Good morning. Paul and Pauline were down at the River Murray at Echuca, and we're continuing our reading of Hebrews 11, starting at verse 7. By faith Noah, when warned about things not yet seen, in holy fear he built an ark to save his family. By his faith he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness that is in keeping with faith. By faith Abraham, when called to go to a place he would later receive as his inheritance, he obeyed, and even though he did not know where he was going, by faith he made his home in the promised land, like a stranger in a foreign country. He lived in tents, as did Isaac and Jacob, who were heirs with him of the same promise. Just stop and listen to the kookaburras. Give thanks to God for the beautiful place we're in. Lovely big river, red gums. Lots of boats down here at Echuca. Verse 10, for he was looking forward to the city with foundations, whose architect and builder is God. And by faith even Sarah, who was past childbearing age, was enabled to bear children because she considered him faithful who had made the promise. And so from this one man, and he is as good as dead, came descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as countless as the sand on the seashore. All these people were still living by faith when they died. They did not receive the things promised, they only saw them and welcomed them from a distance, admitting that they were foreigners and strangers on earth. People who say such things show that they are looking for a country of their own. If they had been thinking of the country they had left, they would have had opportunity to return. Instead, they were longing for a better country, a heavenly one. Therefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared a city for them. By faith Abraham, when God tested him, offered Isaac as a sacrifice. He who had embraced the promise was about to sacrifice his one and only son, even though God had said to him, it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. Abraham reasoned that God could even raise the dead, and so in a manner of speaking he did receive Isaac back from the dead. By faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau in regard to their future, and by faith Jacob, when he was dying, blessed each of Joseph's sons and worshipped as he leaned on the top of his staff. By faith Joseph, when his end was near, spoke about the exodus of the Israelites from Egypt and gave instructions concerning the burial of his bones. So we come from a great lineage of men of faith. Faith in God, faith that God exists, faith that God has a plan. And we know God has a plan for all of us. A plan to prosper us and not to harm us. It says that in Jeremiah 29:11. So we live by faith and we give thanks to God for all he's done for us. He's brought us down here to Echuca, to the port, where we can see paddle steamers chuffing along the river with the tourists. You see all these houseboats parked down here. It's just amazing how people have got so much money to put into these big boats. But it's lovely to be here, to be welcomed by the kookaburras, and to read his word on the banks of the River Murray. Here's Pauline to say.
Paul and I are both River Murray kids. We grew up on the river, so even the smell of the river brings back lovely memories.
It's a long, long way from Cinnamon Park in Brisbane, but we are on holidays and enjoying every moment of it. God bless you. Get into the Word.
And let the Word of God get into you.
Bye for now.